just too cute. I love you guys. You're so cute. You want me to leave you alone? I gotta flee. Oh my gosh, this kitten is so cute.
Little plaza here is awesome. Alright, after dinner, Mary was feeling like, needed some dessert, right? And so we were trying to figure out what to do, and then we were driving by Barnes & Noble, and I remembered what I was studying in here one
It's
night.
2:24 in the morning.
Someone ordered a slice of cheesecake, and it was Cheesecake Factory, and I was like, oh yeah, they serve Cheesecake Factory slices there. We go in, and they're on sale for
He was just licking his lips. That's why I'm doing this.
So, we got, it's like much smaller than like if you got it at the restaurant.
I don't know, babe.
No. It's much bigger if you get it at the restaurant.
Hey, we should take the thumbnail because this lighting is really bad. I'll move my hair so it doesn't look
Oh. No, sir. Unless you want an early death.
This is a shot of where Mary and I part ways. We're usually together, but this is one set of stores where I go to the right and Mary goes to the left.
There's even a line in the middle of the road that's like separating it.
Yep.
But actually we're going to park and sit in the trunk and watch the sunset.
And drink our latte. The sun already set though.
I know, but it's so nice out. Okay,
It is
should
nice.
we park?
Okay, bye.
Okay, you know what? Let's park here.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, park. Park. I don't want to park where all the cars are.
Oh, you want to park right here? I didn't understand.
It's like park.
I didn't understand where you wanted to.
Well, I was going to try to scare the kitten, but it didn't end up working. Like father, like son. And they're not actually related, by the way. Technically, they're like brothers, I guess. But I call Smudge the dad, Lilith the mom. Pretty much that, yeah. Panther's like the outcast. Kitten's the asshole. Ty, I guess, is the second asshole. We'll see what little one turned out to be. It's getting boring now. I'm just gonna go ahead and end the clip. It's 2:29 a.m. Oh my gosh. My cat found this, like, Shiba, and I don't know where he got it from. I don't think he managed to get into the actual wrapping just because of that part, but it's expired all the way from 2017. So I hope he didn't end up eating any, because if he did, then he'll get sick, like really, really sick. But I hope he didn't get to it. But yeah, it's like 3:04 in the morning. I'm about to take some melatonin. But yeah, you gotta be really careful with kittens.
Gentlemen, how will your wife complete this sentence? First thing in the morning, I usually find my husband's blank on my what?
I probably find my teeth on her sink.
Regis Philbin and Kelly Ripa.
I'm sorry. I accept that as Lee. It's your turn. Take 1A. No more vowels. Okay, go ahead.
Regis Philbin and Kelly Ripa. K. There is a K.
what's up there?
Regis Philbin and Kelly Ripa.
It doesn't feel like 3:20 in the morning.
Name something that gets up in the morning before you do.
Sorry, Mom, but for men, they're peas.
I don't think Lilith likes being on camera. Smudge is being so freaking hilarious. Smuggy. They're just so cute. Oh, that's my boys. Smudge really is a daddy. Okay, well, I just scared him, and I didn't get it on camera. I'm so mad. It's like 6 in the morning. I'm probably over-exaggerating. 5:47. Close enough. I've been up all morning. I slept pretty late. I'm feeling much better. Turns out it was my blood sugar. But anyway, so you see this black hair bow on my wrist? I looked down and it was gone. And I just found it on the floor. The little one had taken it and played with it. So I'm telling you, I don't know why I got a kitten. I love him. He's adorable. I don't regret it, but there's moments like that when I do. Oh my gosh, just look at Smudge. Little one, of course. I promise you, next time I scare him, I'm going to try to get on camera. It was so irresistible. And his tail puffed up so large. I was trying to find... Oh my gosh, just look at that pose. Adorable. Anyway, next time I try to scare the crap out of the kitten, I'll make sure to get it on camera. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. So anyway, about 11:45 last night, I was cooking, and I admit I was very tired. Apparently it was because of my blood sugar, and that's why I was feeling so tired and down and bitchy, I would say. But anyway, the kitten got up on the counter, and I was trying to get him down, and he ended up knocking over both of my drinks, which I didn't even get any of it. Like, the slushie was making me very nauseous, and that's why I put it up on the counter. And I didn't even know Austin had put my drink on the counter. Like, but anyway, he knocked him over. When the slushie fell straight to the floor, the styrofoam completely broke. And I was very mad. I was very furious. I got so mad, I locked the kitten in the bathroom, and a friend of mine said to do that when the cat, like, acts up. But then Austin was like, you can't really do that because the cat, you can't really teach a cat how to, like, you can't discipline a cat. So I let the cat out, because he was only in there for about, like, 2 minutes. But I'm telling you, I was so mad. This kitten keeps, like, this is what kittens do, guys. Like, all my kittens I've got the past, since 2015, have been on, like, a random urge to get it. And then the kitten that I've got now, little one, I got because a friend of mine found him in the middle of the road, in traffic and everything. So she didn't have anywhere to put the kitten because she couldn't keep the kitten. And so I was like the only one that she knew that would take a cat in, and I took the cat in. And it just happened to be in my brother's vacation, and he found out from my mom, or technically Steve, my stepdad, and I found out we're hosting dinner for Thanksgiving, and no one even asked me, apparently, because it's James's house and he gets to make the decisions, and I don't like my stepdad. Like, I guess he doesn't like me either. I don't like him. And so, me personally, I don't want to be anywhere near him around the holidays. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, Christmas isn't the same anymore without my grandmother. And even without my grandmother, it's not the same because my family isn't the same. We're split in so many ways. Like, we used to be a tight family. And then the divorce happened. And even before then, James, I think, was in Charleston then, but at least we all met up for Christmas, you know? But, the kitten, sorry. Hey! Move! I'll be back in a minute. I couldn't remember what I was saying, so I had to go back and watch the clip. So, the divorce happened. My grandmother ended up being diagnosed with Alzheimer's and eventually had to move in with us. And the house I live in now, I call my grandmother's house, my granny's house, and everyone thinks, oh, you live with your granny. And I'm like, no. Like, my brother, technically my brother doesn't own it yet, but my mom and my aunt do. And the reason I call it my granny's house is because this is like the one big thing I have with my grandmother. And I was very close with my grandmother. And when the Alzheimer's kicked in, and she stopped remembering who I was and started calling me her nurse and all that, I didn't exactly know how to respond to that. I was like maybe 15 to 16 years old, and I didn't know how to respond to that, and so I got very angry, and my mom had to just tell me I had to like suck it up and let it go. But I don't let go of things easy. I kind of hold grudges. I mean, okay, so real quick, when I was little, my brother Terry would always get us in trouble, me and my sister Heather. And he would always snicker and laugh, and like he'd get away with so much other crap because he was like mentally ill, I guess to say. He has some kind of alcohol syndrome, and I understand, okay, I understand that part, but me and Heather would get so mad because we didn't do half that shit, and we'd still get in trouble, and he'd get away with crap, and you know, and apparently it was because he was like that violent and they didn't want to make him mad. But then when I got mad and hit my hand through a window, I got punished. But when he walked off with a knife throughout the neighborhood, he didn't get diddly squat. Like, seriously. I mean, now, I know you guys may think of this as bitchy, but I'm just saying, okay? I did not have an easy childhood at all. And so anyway, back to the point that I'm making. For example, one time he and I went over to a friend's house, stole that friend's video game, and my dad found out that somebody stole it. And so he, like, I don't remember if he, like, yelled at us or spanked us until one of us confessed, but my sister Heather did not steal it. But she said she did just so that it would all stop. And my brother did it, and he knew full well what he did. And every single time he would get us in trouble, he would just snicker and laugh. Like, he would just be waiting to get us in trouble. And anyway, it took me until about 2 years ago to finally forgive him for all of that. Like, he did not make my childhood easy. Like, my parents could have at least treated us all with equal fairness. But no. Like, just because he was the special needs one, he got away with crap. And I know this may come off as me sounding bitchy, but you weren't there, I was. And this was constant and constant and constant. And to top that off, I had an alcoholic dad. And that wasn't easy. In fact, he would embarrass me so bad, I wouldn't even have my friends come over. Like, it took me up until like 2 years ago as well to finally forgive him for all the crap. Like, okay, I know that makes it may sound bitchy, but I'm just saying. So anyway, we would all come, so basically our old Christmas tradition, we would all meet up at the house on Carter, my old house, which if you haven't seen a picture of, I don't have an up-to-date picture, like an old picture I should say, because they remodeled it and everything. But I drew a little picture, which I didn't exactly put in details, but I'll do one of those later. But here's that picture of the one that I painted. So anyway, everyone would meet up there, and when I was growing up, I loved Christmas so much. I woke up for everybody else, and this was back when I believed in Santa. Okay? You can't blame me. Everyone believes in Santa. And you can deny it all you want, but everyone does, okay? And up until high school, I believed he still existed. And my mom finally had to, like, get it into my brain that they bought all these presents and they showed me their receipts and crap. And then they ruined Christmas. So, we would all meet up at the Carter house. And then we'd go upstairs and first we would hug and everything, say hi to everyone. And then we would all go upstairs to do stockings. And then we'd come down and have breakfast. And then we'd open up presents. And then we would change. And then we would clean up and all that. Or clean up and then change. Then we would all meet back up at my grandmother's house. Open more presents. Ate lunch. And then if there was still presents to open, we would do that. But then the rest of the day was spent opening presents. Now, my dad made Christmases worse growing up. Because because he would always sit in his home with him. And I'm just telling you guys, I was dead afraid of my father, okay? And he would make us come home with him. And if we weren't on our best behavior, we'd get sent home early. But on vacations, we weren't allowed to go on a vacation or do anything vacation-wise. We had to clean up our rooms and clean up the house and all that other crap. And if we didn't do it, he would, like, punish us. And so, I'm going to tell you guys something that my sister and I did growing up, okay? He'd make us throw away stuff. And we didn't know what to throw away, like, you know, so we literally, and I feel bad for this, but we would tear pages and pages of old books that we didn't need and stuff up the bags and just until he went to bed, and then we would do our homework. He wouldn't let us do our homework. He'd make us clean our rooms. And I'm telling you, I was dead shit scared of my dad, and I still have nightmares about his abusiveness, and you know, I may have forgiven him, but I will never forget. He, like, ruined my childhood. Not my childhood, like, when I was little. He wasn't that bad when I was little. Because I know that he loved me. I mean, obviously, if he didn't, he wouldn't have taken care of us and driven us up and down the coast to hospitals and stuff, because we had to have MRIs and all that other crap. Like, I don't even remember that. Like, my parents would take us to the beach, and I remember that part. I remember holding my dad's hand and walking along the beach, and, you know, because I guess we would go to the beach when we were at a hospital, and all that. And I don't regret being in the family that I was in, because if I hadn't, I could have ended up in a worse foster home, because they eventually adopted us, but, like, things could have gotten so much worse. Okay, like, it could have been totally worse. And so that was our Christmas way. Now everybody meets up, and then just opens presents, and eat, and then stay, and then actually now, we don't even stay that late anymore, we just head home. And the holidays get me in a really bad depression, mostly because my grandmother is dead. She passed away in 2014. And so every year, I'm faced again and again that my grandmother is gone, and I can't hug her again, and all that, and I'm living in her house, so, I was very close to my grandmother. And there was this one time when I was little, when me and my sister came over to eat. We had Chinese food, and then we ate, and then I didn't feel good, so I wanted to go home. And my grandmother asked my sister if she wanted to stay with my grandma that night or if she wanted to come home with me, and she came home with me because she was worried about me. And even to this day, like, I remember it at the back of my mind, even to this day, I wish that I had just stuck up and just said, you know what, Granny, I'll be fine. I'll stay home. I'll stay here with you. Because she's gone, and my childhood was the best because of her. I remember being so afraid of my dad that I would hide when he would come to pick us up from Granny's house, and I would hide in the strangest places because I didn't want to go home. And, you know, I guess, I know we all get scared, but I miss my grandmother. And there's some mornings when I remember she's gone and I can't say hi to her anymore. And, but yeah. So the holidays are really tough on me. You know, I loved my grandmother, and I wish I wasn't as bratty of a teenager as I was, because I didn't exactly understand the Alzheimer's and I hated her. But I loved her. And in fact, when she died on August 24th at 3:19 in the morning, I stayed with her the whole time with my mom, and I watched my grandmother die. I literally, until she took her last breath, and my mother cried and cried, and I cried with her. And then I think we called the people in the morning, but we basically just covered my grandmother over. You know, my sister went and laid down in bed because she was tired, and this was before she died. And when Heather woke up, my grandmother was dead. So, I remember the day before, like, the back of my hand. I don't remember if I went to school, like, or I came home, or I think it was a Saturday, and my grandmother wasn't feeling good. And so we tried giving her food. She wouldn't eat it. We tried giving her Ensure. She wouldn't drink it. And my mom came home later that day. My grandmother was, like, really clammy, and I don't even know if she had a fever, but she was obviously sick. And my mom was like, "Why didn't you call me?" And she had trouble breathing, my grandmother, I guess. I mean, I don't even remember. But my mom was very mad that I hadn't called her. She basically called everybody, because my mom knew right then. Like, my mom has always had that magic touch of knowing when, like, something is wrong. She had that with me, and she saved my life, but I'll get to that later, like, in another subject, whatever. But anyway, she knew that my grandmother was dying, and she called everybody up, my pastor, everybody, saying my grandmother's on her deathbed. And earlier that day, I confessed to Logan that I liked him, and he kissed me, and then he was in a complete ass to me. And then later the next day, my grandmother had died, or it might have been later that night. I remember when I found out my grandmother was dying, I went out and cried my eyes out, and Logan was trying to cheer me up, but I wouldn't let him because he literally, like, just broke my heart right then. Because I told him I liked him, and he was a complete ass to me. And I remember that, like, back of my mind, and now he's the one treating me like crap. You know, because of what Heather did to him. So, we're not really friends anymore. Even though I tried. That's all you can do, right? So, yeah.